So can you please put your pluses in the chat if you can hear and see me well, so I know that we have already started and that everybody is here. So can you please put your pluses in the chat? So I'm still waiting for your pluses. So again, hello everybody. If you can hear and see me well, please put your pluses in the chat so I know that you participate and you are here and you're ready to analyze the trials and the trial external examination tasks you had today. Okay, good. So first of all, I'd like to start with this little like warming up thing, and for you this is the attention thing. Тож, по-перше, звертаю увагу на те, що ми радимо дивитись наш розбір пробного ЗНО лише тим випускникам, хто вже виконав завдання та хоче саме перевірити себе. Не те, щоб списати ці завдання і відправити їх, а саме тим, хто вже це зробив і готові просто перевірити себе, дізнатися, які були правильні відповіді, а які ні. So, let me switch to English then, and let's start with the listening task. So the first task you had to choose between the pictures the right one, and I would like first of all you to write in the chat what were your answers. What did you choose? Like here we listened to this audio talking about Discovery Center with some animals. What were the animals? What did you choose first of all? Yes, that is C, that's right. So as far as the audio talked about this dragon, you know, so the only right variant is C. Yep, so you can see here. Good. So
Український центр
we're
оцінювання
not gonna listen
якості.
that for now. So in order not to take our time, we'll move to the second audio task, and here you had to choose between the next pictures and about that girl. So you remember that she talked about having these tests during the day, and she talked about a carrot cake, right? And about these muffins, these things, chocolate things. So what were your answers? What did you choose here? Yes, that's right. So she was talking about A, but it was stated that she's not allowed to try this because it is for her brother, while a carrot cake was allowed for her, so she was allowed to try carrot cake. Good. The third one, what is not among Laura's symptoms? So the third one, what did you choose here? She was talking about her symptoms, and she mentioned that she has cough, right? Stomach ache. Yeah, but the thing she did not mention in the audio was B, having the high temperature. Good. The next one, 4, what is the Environment Agency's recommendations? So you have here options of 3A, to shop with the same bag a lot of times, to reduce the price of paper shopping bags, and C, to forbid supermarkets to sell plastic bags. What was your answer? What did you choose here? In the fourth task. Yeah, that is right. So what is the Environment Agency's recommendation? That was to shop with the same bag a lot of times. Yes, so they talked about reusing the same bag for a few times. Good. The next one, 5, what does the speaker state about wet weather? A, it gets people to share emotions in social networks. B, it makes people turn for help to hospitals more often. And C, it encourages people to meet with friends indoors. So what did you choose here? That's right, 5A. So first of all, it was stated in the audio that mostly when there is this bad weather, rainy weather outside, people tend to share emotions to write something good or bad in their social networks. So that is right, 5A. Good. 6. What did the speaker like about your school? A. It was close to her home. B. There were no boys in it. C. She studied and lived there. So what did you choose here? So, yep, that's it. She studied and lived there. So that's C. She was talking about going to that private school, and in England it is quite a popular thing to live in a private school. So it's like this, like they have this kind of dormitories, and they can live in the school and study at the same time. And you remember her talking about not spending a lot of time just going to her school and going back home. So she also mentioned that she could spend a lot of time just doing some extracurricular activities after her school hours, after the lessons and stuff. So the right variant is C, 6C. She studied and lived there. So let's move on to the next listening task. And here you heard this text. So you listened to the text talking about ballpoints and ballpoint pens, and you had to choose true or false according to what they were talking about. Well, this audio was a little bit difficult, for some people, because it confused us a lot. Like, it talked about the same points, but still only one variant is correct here. Yes, so this task was a little bit difficult because of having all those tricky points. So let's see. The first ballpoint pen was not a success because of its limited purpose. So what did you choose here? True or false? So false, true. Yes. So the first ballpoint pen was not a success because of its limited purposes. That is true. So this is true because the speaker talked about the first ballpoint pens that were used for a different purpose, and they could not be used to write on the paper, right? So it had, like, the first ballpoint pens, they were used for quite a limited purpose. So they were not used to like on that just paper that we use now, but it was used for a different military purposes. So that is true, and that was not a success because of this thing. Not all people needed to use that for military purposes, and that is why it was not a success. So this is true. Good. The next one, 8. Newspaper printing gave an idea of the workable ballpoint pen. So what do you think? So 8. Is that true or false? Newspaper printing gave the idea of the workable ballpoint pen. So Mary says true, true. Yarina, true. Yes, good. So that is true. Here you listened to the speaker talking about the newspaper editor, right? So the newspaper editor firstly tried to use to make up this like ballpoint pen used for the paper, and and have the like quite normal ink there. So for the military purposes, there were some problems connected to ink, while the newspaper editor that gave this idea to use the ballpoint pens for just general purpose, they used a different ink. So that's good. So 8 is true. Good. 9. The Bear brothers patented their ballpoint pen in Argentina. So what about it? You remember they talked about Argentina, they talked about America, and also they talked about Budapest. So 9. True or false? Well, that is false. Because still they talked about these ballpoint pens that were created in Budapest, and then they moved to Argentina, where they started to spread the ballpoint pens just through the country. But firstly, the audio talked about having it made in Budapest and not still in Argentina, and then spreading in Argentina. Good. So you have very different answers, you know. Some people say true, some people say false, so different answers. Good. What about 10? The first ballpoint pen did not need refilling for 15 years. You know, this sentence is a little bit tricky because it was stated that the ballpoint pen was said that it did not have to be refilled for 15 years. So in the tense, it was stated that the advertisement talked about this. So this was advertised that it wouldn't have been refilled for 15 years, but still you choose true, right? The first ballpoint pen did not need refilling for 15 years. Most of you say true. Well, okay, as far as I heard this audio, and I chose false. The first ballpoint pen did not need refilling for 15 years. That is because I think about this advert. Like, it was stated that like it did not need to be refilled for 15 years. But to be honest, this is a little bit tricky. As far as I choose, that is false. But still, this is a little bit, you know, like with that slight thing. So for you to think about. Still, let's choose this as to be false. But it may be also true because we talk here about the ballpoint pens that it was stated, it was advertised. But here it is stated that the first one, it may be the thing that may confuse you a little bit. So let it be false. 10 false. 11. Ballpoint pens are popular because they are affordable. So what do you choose here? 11. Ballpoint pens are popular because they are affordable. Is that true or false? Yes, that is true. Good. So it was stated that everybody could buy the ballpoint pen and it became quite affordable, and now they are affordable, right? So we can even buy them now because they are very cheap and affordable. So that is true. Okay, good. So this was the listening task connected to that particular audio. And one more thing that you had to listen to is about the Audrey, the actress Audrey, right? Audrey Hepburn. So let's see what you have here. In all those tasks, you had to choose A, B, or C. Only one variant is correct. So 12, the book How to Be Lovely contains A, recordings of Audrey's voice, B, comments of Audrey's friends, C, pictures drawn by Audrey's fonts. So what do you choose here? 12. So someone says B. What about the others? What do you choose? So still it is right, yes, B. So the book contains comments of Audrey's friends. In the audio, she talked about pictures, photos, about the voice, but still she said that the book contains comments of her friends, like what her friends told about her, like these new facts about Audrey that her friends commented on her. Good, so 12, that's B. 13, where did Audrey acquire her education? A, Belgium, B, the Netherlands, and C, England. So 13, where did Audrey acquire her education? That's right, England. So it was stated that she was born and educated in England, but then she moved to Belgium, and then she returned to England again. So that's right, that's C, 13C. 14. How did Audrey begin her career? A. She worked as a theater dancer. B. She had small roles in films. And C. She wrote about fashion business. So 14. You say B. Mary says B. What else? What are the other variants? B. Well, I can see different various answers here, like A, B, and C. Still, it was stated that she worked as a dancer at the very beginning of her career. Later on, she was asked to participate in some roles, so she was asked to be an actress in some films where she met the producer and the filmmaker. But firstly, it was stated that she worked as a dancer. She had this experience of working as a dancer. 15. What is true of Audrey Hepburn? A. She had perfect taste in clothes. B. She sang in the musical My Fair Lady. And C. She left cinema for Broadway. So 15, your answers. A, B, or C. Yes, that's right. So that is true. She had perfect taste in clothes. And talking about B, at the end and the very end of the audio, it was stated that she participated in the musical My Fair Lady, but still she did not have this chance of singing in that musical, right? So she acted there, so she was like an actress in this musical, but someone different. So another girl sang in that musical and not her. So 15A. Good. 16. What did Audrey do during the last years of her life? A. She was involved in charitable activities. B. She traveled around the globe for pleasure. And C. She participated in theatrical performances. So what do you choose here? 16. Good, that's right. That's A. It was stated that she participated in some charitable activities and she even traveled around the globe in order to raise awareness and to raise money for this charity, right? So she also participated in one film. It was stated like something connected to angels, or something connected to angels. I don't really remember now. But it was stated that it was also for the same charitable activity and for the same purpose, to raise awareness and to raise money. Good. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on to the reading section. Here you had to read these three texts, just the small texts, the passages in other words, and to choose A, B, and so on according to the text. So which advertisement is about? 17. First of all, what do you choose here? It's been a long day. You talk here about home, about cleaning. So the text shows us a lot about laundry, floors, bathroom. So 17. Yep, that is right. Housekeeping. So 17. Let me write like this. 17, that is F, that is housekeeping. So we talk here about laundry, about cleaning and different household stuff. So housekeeping is the right variant here. 17F. 18. Gym sale now on. So 18, what do you choose here? The passage talks about this free gifts that could be for a gym, right? The training sessions. So 18. Yeah, that is E. Good. So in passage 18, it talks about doing sports. So the advertisement is about doing sports, about gym and so on. Good. 19, the Book of Mormon, the best musical of this century. So what about 19? This can be a little bit confusing because you have here the book, you have here the best musical of this century, and at the end you have in a dangerous part of Uganda in this musical comedy. So 19, you have what? Yes, that is correct. This 19 is C, theater going. So pay attention that even though it's called like the Book of Mormon, it's not about books. It's not about this reading books session. It's about theater going because we talk here about musical, about this musical comedy. Yep, that is correct. Good. What about 20? Wanted lady teachers. And so on. Just talking about teaching, the activities connected to being a teacher. So 20, that is what? So I can see here different answers, like someone chose schooling and someone chose job hunting. Wanted lady teachers with bachelor's education. Candidates are required. Walking interviews. School or job hunting. Okay, as far as I chose, that is schooling. We talk here about some school stuff, but still job hunting is also possible. So here, job hunting is quite a possible variation. It may be job hunting. So, yep. Do not be afraid if you made this mistake. So it may be both here, G or still H. So schooling or job hunting, I'm not really sure about it. Just because we talk here about schools and we talk about wanted. So this position is wanted. So this may be schooling or this may be job hunting as far as we talk about a job. Good. So 21, that is about the making of Harry Potter. Why? Yes, so you're right about interviews, candidates, but still it's about school. So yes, it may be both variants here. So still we will see when the official answers will appear. We'll check. But still, schooling is also possible because we talk about school. But still, yes, when we talk about schooling, there are some different stuff maybe here. And job hunting is also possible. So we'll check that. For now, don't be afraid if you chose G or H. We'll see. And 21, I see you have here A, D, 21. Well, that is A, sightseeing. Again, this is a little bit tricky because we talk here about some different locations, We're talking here about this Great Hall, Dumbledore office, and Hogwarts haunt. So this seems to be, sightseeing. Traveling, I'm not really sure about traveling because mostly when we talk about traveling, we travel to different places, to different cities, towns, countries. And still this advert talks about these different places which can be attended by you to just see how the film was made. So I'm sure that is sightseeing. So still, I tend to think that the 21st advertisement is connected to sightseeing, not traveling. So let it be A, 21A. Okay, good. So let's move on to the reading task. The next one, 5. Here you had to read the text, An Adventurous Lady, and it talked about this 80-year-old women, right, who are supposed to stay at home, but one person was an exception. So let's see. Why did Julia call the radio program? In the very first passage, it was stated about this, and you have here options. A, it was a chance to win a new car. B, she decided to participate in the discussion. C, she had an opportunity to talk to the president. And D, it was one of her usual activities. So 22, what do you choose here? B. Yep, good, that's right. She decided to participate in the discussion. It was stated that she wanted to talk about these cars that, like at the very end of the first passage, it is stated. Let's see. Yep. we could happily drive to London together. So why the greedy politicians needed all these new cars was beyond me. So she wanted to talk about these cars that politicians buy a lot of times, and that she has only one car that serves her for 20 years till that time. So that is B. Okay, 23. What was Julia going to do according to paragraph 2? A. To move from the country to town. B. To travel to London by air. C. To take up gardening as a hobby. And D. To drive through Africa to Europe. So Nancy says, but she listens to radio every day. It is like her routine. Yes, it was her routine to listen to the radio every day, but still that very day, like she did not participate a lot in all the conversations she listened to, right? But just that day, she decided to participate in a conversation, to have this discussion, because she was interested in the topic of cars. So that is why still it was one of her usual activities, not to participate in the discussion, but in listening to the radio. So here you can see this slight difference, right? So she decided to call the radio program because she wanted to participate in discussion. And what about 23? What do you choose here? 23, yeah, that is D, to drive through Africa to Europe. So it was stated that she decided to take this challenge and to travel to England, London, to have a cup of tea with Queen, right, with the Queen. So, yes, according to the second paragraph, you have here, let's see. She promised to get to Buckingham Palace to have tea with the Queen, right? And earlier it was stated that she lives in Cape Town, so this is in Africa as far as we know. So that is why her aim was to travel from Africa, from her place, from Cape Town to England, London, right? So she wanted to drive through Africa to Europe. So what about the next, 24? Oh, Victor says that he cannot hear me. What about the others? Can you hear me? Can you please put your pluses? If you can hear me, please put your plus in the chat. Okay, fine. So in 24, which of the following is true for Julia? A. She slept in a tent on the side of the road. B. She swam in the mountain lakes. C. She challenged herself to a car rally. And D. She climbed to the mountain top. So 24, that is A. She slept in a tent on the side of the road. Let's move again to the text and let's see what we have here. Alba often spent nights in a canvas shelter next to her car. Right? So this phrase means that she slept in a tent near her car, and mostly that is supposed that her car stayed somewhere on the side of the road. So this is connected. So she slept in a tent on the side of the road, and that is why she felt bad for some time. Pay attention that here, if when you had the sentence about mountain, let's see. Oh yeah. Oh, to be 40 years younger, I would climb the mountain, I would swim in the lake. So she dreamt about it, right? So if I were 40 years younger, I would do that. But still, I'm not. That is why I do not do that, right? So this is just this imaginary situation, but this is not the case. It is not something that she still did. But the thing she did is to sleep in a tent on the side of the road. So that is A, right? 24A. 25. What happened to Julia in Egypt? A. She met the queen there. B. She had to repair her car there. C. She had to stay at an eaten place. And D. She bought several Arabic plates. So 25. That's C, right? You are good. So 25, that's C. She had to stay at an eaten place. It was stated that she had to sleep in a cafe, right, just near some other 10 Egyptian men who were quite surprised. So that is right. That is C. 25, C. 26. What can be inferred from the text about Julia? A. She got an invitation to the annual horse race. B. She enjoyed tea at Buckingham Palace. C. She got engaged in a royal event. Or D. She reached her destination in summer. So 26, that's D. It was stated right that she reached her destination in summer season, so in summer. That's right. So let's move on. Let's move on to the next one. So, Nastya, you will see what is in the first 14 tasks just at the very end of this video. So after I finish this, the checking of trial, so now you will have to rewatch it again from the very beginning. So we have already moved to that part. So let's move on to the next reading task, and here you had to read a few texts about different shops and to choose which shop, and A, B, C, and so on. So Peter Jones, 27. What do you choose here? Yes, that is D. So 27, that is D. So which shop offers professional tips on style? That's right. So Peter Jones, it talks about cosmetics and perfumes in the stunning beauty department, and it talks about fabulous fashion brands. So this is the professional tip on style. Most of this is quite a stylish shop. That's right. 28. Irregular choice. What do you have here? 28. That's right, Anna. Yes, that's right. So 28, that is C. Good. So which shop can easily be found because of the flag outside? It is stated here that this shop is can be instantly seen because of the Union Jack flying over somewhere, right? So you know, the Union Jack is the flag of England. So that is correct. Good. Let's move on. 29. House of Fraser, Oxford Street. So 29. What do you choose here? What about this shop? Yes, that's right. That is A. So 29. Which shops deals with various objects for home? Still, it talks here about plenty of beautiful products for home, like furniture, curtains, and other household goods. So that is connected to home, right? To the subject of home. Good. Sorry. Blitz, what do you have here? Yes, good. That is B. So 30, that's B. Which shop sells items from the past? Yeah, but it is stated that here the clients can buy the items that are sold by, like, you know, 70s, 80s, or 90s from these years. So this is quite a trend boutique about the past. That's it. Good. Let's move on. 31. Loop. What do you choose here in the 31st text? So let's see. Sorry, I can see that Max asks about the 20s, and you know, it seems that I have not skipped anything here. No, in the 20s we talked about G or H, so we have just moved from that topic to the 31st one. So everything is okay, I have not skipped anything. So the 31st, yeah, about the loop. So you choose E, right? Yes, that is correct. Good. So loop, which shop provides master classes? And this text talks about the shop hosts regular beginner to advanced workshops to teach the necessary skills. So the word workshops may help you to understand that we talk about those master classes. Good. And the 32nd, yeah, what do we have here? What is Thomas Piccadilly? Yep, good, that's right, that is G. So which shop delivers your purchase worldwide? And you have here at the very end, as well as gift wrapping service and competitive shipping all over the globe. So this is correct. Good. Let's move on to the next task. And here you had to choose the correct sentence that fits each gap. So first of all, the 33rd gap. The 33rd, yeah. Is everything correct? Yep, good. So the 33rd gap, what do you have here? So Mondays are not my favorite days. So 33. That's right, that's G. So Mondays are not my favorite days and I often arrive in a bad mood. So here, to realize that this is the correct one, you have here just read till the end. But at the end of the rehearsal, I usually feel energized. So we talk here about feelings, about mood, about the condition. So this is G. Good. 34. Another way of putting this is what? So Alexandra asks about 29 centuries. Well, I may just go back to this text, but we just check that 29 that's A and 30 that is B. Still be attentive, okay? So 34, another way of putting this is, what do you choose here? Yeah, that is B. Another way of putting this is that I miss my weak ties. Good. So here is the easiest way to realize that B is the correct one, because just look at this at the structure of the sentence, right? Another way of putting this is what? Is that I miss my weak ties, right? So you may ask that question, and it helps you to understand that the structure of this sentence should be with starting with that, right? Just meaning what? That I miss my weak ties. 35. What do we have here? So relationships with close friends and family. What do you choose? 35 here. D, that's right. So with close friends and family, whom you spend a lot of time with too. That's right. 36. The central insight was what? 36. So the central insight was C, right? Sure. Good. Well, I hope this is clear that it's C, okay? So let it be like this. So their central insight was that for new information and ideas, weak ties are more important to us than strong ties. So it is stated that this central insight is quite important for new ideas, for being creative, right? So weak ties are quite important for our creational part of us. So that is C. Good. 37. Casual contacts. What do you choose here? 37. That's E, right? Sure. Yes, good. So casual contacts whom they saw only occasionally. That's E, good. And the last one, 38. All researchers pointed out the people H, right? Sure. That people whom you have never met before swim in the same pool of information as you do. So 38, that's H. Good, well done. Let's move on to the use of English task. And mostly on these tasks, you are focused on the usage of different, prepositions, of collocations, phrases, expressions that are stable ones, that are always like this, and they do not even change. So let's see, what do you have here? Feeling fit is a necessary condition for enjoying your trip. Who wants a walking 39? What? Walking what? 39, that is a, yes, walking tour. So mostly when we talk about walking something, walking, that is tour. Not journey, not cruise, not travel, but walking tour. Good. 40. Here are a few measures. You can, what? 40. You can take. Yes. So to take measures, right? You not use measures, get or make measures. No, you take measures. So mostly this is again the same stable phrase that is always used like this, and it does not change. So take measures, the correct one. So Nastya, okay, also I will check that after finishing the lesson. So we'll see what is the variants that do not change, that do not match. So we'll see. Good. The next one, 41, and this is one of the worst things you can. 41. What do you have here? No, it's not give. It's do, right? Sure. So, and this is one of the worst things you can do to your body. So something to do to your body. So this is again the stable phrase that always stays like this. You can do to your body. Never skip 42. What? Have a light breakfast and lunch, and then your hearty dinner. So when you talk about breakfast, lunch, dinner, supper, how this is called? Meals, that's right, yeah. So never skip meals. So that's right. And 43, also keep in mind that a lot of good restaurants have become mindful of health. So what do you choose here with the 43rd? B, that's right. So also keep in mind that a lot of good restaurants have become mindful of health, offering a variety of low-fat, low-sodium cuisine that is every bit as delicious as the alternative. Good, well done. Let's move on to the next part and saving the environment. Again, the same stuff. You have to choose the word that fits the gap, and mostly you have these collocations here. For example, in the 44th, you have the collocation. This is the expression. This word is always used with the preposition on. Which one? So in the 44th, that is be dependent on, right? So every living being, so you have here like every living being is dependent on each other for survival. So to be dependent on something, right? Well, also you may say like rely on, but that is not reliable, because reliable, that is the description of a person. But dependent on fits here. Good. The extinction of one species will naturally create an imbalance within the ecosystem. 45. What do you have here? So 45. That's what? C. Yep, that's right. So the extinction of one species will naturally create an imbalance within the ecosystem, disturbing all other life forms within it. Good. So let's move to the next one. 46. A positive change. No what? 46. No matter, no way, no point, no idea. Yes, no matter. Still, it's again the same expression, like no matter what, no matter how. So this is like this collocation that is stable one, and it is always used like this. So no matter how small holds the ability to create so on. And in the long what? 47. Again, this is the expression, and it cannot have any different word here except for run, in the long run. So let's see again. Here holds the ability to create a lasting effect of change in the long run. Yes, in the long run. So that is correct. And this is the expression. This is the expression that is always used like this. You cannot change these words like in the long way, no, in the long road, in the long run. Only in this case it is used. Let's move on. So 48. What do you have here? Started doing their parts in reducing their carbon footprint. And 48. What is used here in the 48s? I chose that C. Right. And adopting the green way of living, to adopt a way of life, right? So this is again this expression, this phrase, to adopt way of life, of living, and so on. So 48, that is C. Good. And yeah, one before the last task. Phones in the classroom hurt everyone's grades. So let's see here. Again, we have the same words that are always used with the same prepositions, and according to the text, you have to choose the right preposition. So 49, but the brain actually can focus attention on just one thing, on, with, at, or in a time. So 49, at a time, right? So, but the brain actually can focus attention on just one thing at a time. So the phrase at a time is mostly translated за раз, да? За один раз, at a time. So this is again the stable phrase. When people switch between tasks, their brains can't keep up with nothing, everything, anybody, or everybody. So what's your answer in the fifth one? 50s. B. Okay, that's right. So you cannot use here nothing because you have here the negative form can't. So their brains can't keep up with something, with everything, right? But nothing cannot be used here. Anybody or everybody. So still we not talk here about people, right? So we cannot use body here. Everything is the only possible variant. 51. So there will be a delay as their attention have moved, move, are moving, or moves. In the 51st, what do you have? Yep, 55, that's D. Good. So, let's see again. There will be a delay as their attention moves. So we talk about attention. Attention is used in the singular form, it, right? So attention moves from one task to another. So that's right. 52. Or participate in a classroom discussion while liking a friends, or friend. What's your variant here? A, B, C, or D? 52. Pay attention that you have here the article A. You know, this article may help you a lot to understand if you're talking about this singular or plural word, right? If you have the article A, mostly it means one. So that is why you talk about the singular form. And in this case, if you talk about a singular noun, let's see what we have here. Only B or D may be the correct variants because we talk here about the singularity. A and C, these are plural forms. Friends, a lot of friends, right? Or friends, the C, we again have the same like plural form. So there are a lot of friends with some possessions. So like we have here this apostrophe. So B and D are used for a singular form, friends or friend. But as far as we talk here about photos, and perhaps photos belong to that person, so that is why in the 52, the correct variant is B, friends. Yes, as far as you have here apostrophe S. So while liking your friend's photos of your friend, right, of your one friend. Good. 53, Glass and Kant, psychologists who was working, works, or work. Well, here the only possible variation is the plural form, right? As far as you have here psychologists, there are a lot of psychologists. So that is right. In the 53rd, you have work. Yep, because you talk here about two psychologists, and that is why work is the correct one. But in if you had only one psychologist, like class, only class, so was working or works would be correct. But as far as you talk here about a lot of psychologists, you have two of them, so work is the only possible variant. And let's move on to the very last task. So the Oscars. So let's see what we have here. The Academy Awards, the Oscars. A, was rewarded, have awarded, are awarded, or just awarded. So 54. What do you have here in the 54th gap? The Academy Awards, the Oscars. So the right variant is C. Yes, let's see why. So the Academy Awards are awarded. First of all, here you have the plural form, right? There are a lot of awards, not only one award, but a lot of. So that is why you have to think about this plural form. Was is connected to the singular form. Have is connected to the plural form. It's okay. So B, C, and D are left. Here you may choose between them. So again, we are looking at the same stuff. The Academy Award, is it the subject? No, it is the object. So the awards are given to somebody by someone, right? So the passive voice is used here. And because of that, are awarded is the correct variant. If you had here the person, like somebody have awarded, like recently, somebody have awarded that to someone recently, so that would be correct one. But you have here the passive voice, the passive structure are awarded by someone, right? So we're not interested who awards, who gives that awards to somebody, to the celebrities, but we are interested in the process. That is why passive voice. 55. They were first granted in A, B, C, or D. What do you have here? 55. So they were first granted in 1929, in the 1929s. Yeah, so two possible variations between which we have to choose is A and C. So they were first granted in 1929 or in the 1929s, first broadcast on radio the following year, the first television in 1950s. Well, the thing is that you like in the 1950s, here you talk about this decade. like 51, 52, 53, so decade is used here. But in 29s, it is not the decade, so you cannot say like the same 50s in the 1929s. So it's like this a year that you count. It's again cannot be like the fifth task that I do, or we are moving to the fifth task. So this is a little bit different thing. But you took care about this definite year, so when it was awarded. So they were first granted in 1929. So you have here just the definite time that is stated, and it's not the decade. It is well, the 1929, because you have here them. So with the article day, you have to use this thing. So here it is omitted, and here the article is in D, the article is omitted. So two possible variations is A and C, but still A seems to be more correct as far as we talk here about the definite year. And we do not count this like year fifths, tenths, so on. So A seems to be the correct one. 56. Stay sure that everyone hopes to take, be taken, or taken. So 56, what do you have here? What do you choose? 56. Yes, the stage that everyone hopes to take, as far as after the verb hope, infinitive is used. So hope to take, everyone hopes to take. So hope plus infinitive, that's right. 57. As known for being directed, directing, or direct. So 57. You say directing, and that is the correct answer, right? You are good. So this person, right? Well, yeah. So this person is director, best known for directing a film, right? Yes. So after the prepositions, are mostly gerund is used, like this ing form. So a verb plus ing form. This is like preposition plus ing form plus gerund. So I hope that you understand what I wrote here. Hope plus infinitive, all the prepositions plus ing form plus gerund. So for directing, as you can see here in this verb. Good. And 58, the stage nickname Oscar has conflicting originator, originally, originate, or origin. So 58, what do you have here? That's right, yeah. So Oscar has conflicting origin stories, but the most popular narrative. So you talk here about this origin of the Oscars. So that's right. Okay, so well done. We just completed all the tasks connected to the trials in the 2021. So I hope that you got some answers to the questions you had. So that is all. That's everything. I'm not gonna talk about the writing task. Like in the writing task, as far as I know, you had this letter to a friend to write about travel. And by the way, have you wrote this letter? Have you written this letter and submitted that to the check-in agency, to that staff, to the center? And did you find this letter? Is it difficult? As far as you had to write a letter to a friend, you needed to use the informal style, right? So it's most like this informal letter where you may use contractions, where you may talk a lot about something you like or dislike, so on. So how about you? Yeah, before we finish, have you written the letter to a friend? Well, I see no answers there. Okay, perhaps you're just too tired to talk about this letter. So good. Concerning the letter, it's like it's not a very difficult task as far as you had to use the contractions, you know, this informal style. And mostly when you write a letter to your friend, the informal style is used. And you know, informal style that contains these contractions, contracted forms like I've, I'm, I'll, and not the full forms like in formal letter you write. You may use idioms, you may use different phrasal verbs, expressions. So this is how the letters are written. Not too hard. Okay, good. So if somebody found the letter difficult, how to write the letter, you may also just get to the course I have, like, of how to write a letter for your ZNO, for your main ZNO. And this so the course is still may accept some students, so you may still look for the course. So that is all. Тобто це все. Задань більше немає. Якщо є будь-які запитання, зараз запитуйте в чаті, відповім. Ми з вами все обговорили, все пройшли, тому якщо є запитання будь-які, зараз запитуйте в чаті. Okay. If there are no questions, then I'm gonna just stop the lesson itself, the checking off these of trials in the world. So have a good day then. Just relax and enjoy yourself, and see you. Goodbye. See you in my course, perhaps. So.